Let me start off by thanking Councilmember Dwight Borkins for a gracious introduction, and it's certainly good to be in his district one more time. And then, of course, to the at-large Councilmember Michael Knox, it's good to have Mike with us here this morning. To both congresspersons, Congressman Al Green, Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, to our state senator Rodney Ellis, County Commissioner Gene Locke, and then of course to the comptroller Chris Brown. Albert, it's always good to see you and your wife, son, and then Pastor Lawson. I still say Pastor Lawson. It's good to be with you. I love the socks, man. I know that's not in the speech, but I tell you, I love the socks. Certainly to Roxanne, to Cheryl, to everyone here. Let me make my comments very brief. I don't think I have to repeat what has already been said because I think we all recognize the importance of this particular occasion. And so let me just ditto what everyone else has already said. Schools are important. The legacy is important. And we are continuing the legacy of Audrey Lawson. A passion for boys, a passion for girls, a passion for learning, proper etiquette, getting them started early. And so that's essentially what we are doing here. It is the continuation of. And oftentimes, I think as we live our lives, I think one of the things we need to ask ourselves is that what can we do that will continue what we care about when we are no longer physically present. And to the extent it's not worth continuing, then it's not worth doing in the first place. So this is the continuation of. And there's no better way to do it than to maintain a school, an academy for boys and girls. There was someone who wrote years ago that children are messages that we send into the future to a world we ourselves may never see. What sort of message shall we send? And so with this Lawson Academy, we are preparing to write a message, not just even for them, but to a future that we ourselves may never be a part of. And the question is, what will that message be? And I think through the Lawson Academy, by preparing these kids, giving them the tools, increasing their self-esteem, that the message that we send will be a very powerful one. Neil Ratcliffe, the director from Housing Community Development, has already said it. I certainly want to thank him and his entire staff for their efforts. And the reality is it's no one person's show. No one person can do it all. Even as the mayor of this city, no one person can do it all. So it takes a collective team, all working together to make it happen. And even with this school, no one person can make it happen. It takes a collective effort in order to do that. And so to this morning, we come together to celebrate Reverend Lawson, that collective effort. Someone who had a vision, and now the rest of us who are working to make that vision a reality. And that speaks volumes in and of itself. Lastly, what I would say is that come January of 2017, this land would be home to a new campus for the Academy, a campus that would allow for immediate expansion of the middle school and the future opening of a high school. Yes. By January 2017, this space will hold the hopes and dreams of its students, which is sacred indeed to its own mission. It is a mission critical not just to those who will walk within the walls soon to be constructed here, but is critical to the entire city of Houston, because the hopes and dreams of our great city depend upon these young men and women realizing their hopes and their dreams. For it is only in the fulfillment of their potential that our city can reach its potential as one city where dreams can come true for us all. And lastly, what I will say, if we don't educate them, then who will? And if we don't care for them, then who will? And if we don't equip them and provide them with the facilities, then who will? Our city, in large part, will not be judged by those who are at the top of the ladder. Our city, in large part, will be judged by how we took those who were on the margins of life, how we took those who were in need of so much, and whether or not we equipped them in order to raise themselves and ultimately their families, and then our communities, and then our city. When the bottom moves closer to the top, then all of us will be safer, all of us will be happier, and our city will be very secure. The investment we make today is an investment that in time we all will reap the rewards. So I'll close by saying, Reverend Lawson, it's often said that if you cast your bread into the water, it'll come back to you. I believe today we're casting our bread into the water, and in due time, the return will come right back to us. What we do for these kids, we do for ourselves. Thank you, and I'm excited to be a part of it.